Chapter 4.
Focusing my attention on the tall blonde in front of me, I wait to see if my latest effort garners any different results. Luckily, he seems to be doing worse than I am. His hands are clenched at his sides, he's broken out in a slimy full-body sweat, and his breathing is coming in short, rapid bursts.
Wow!
He says weakly after a moment.
You are certainly persistent. Huh? Let's not do that again.
He cracks open watered, bloodshot eyes and stares at me with open malice in his expression. I guess the strain of resisting me made him cry a little. I should cherish that thought a bit more, but I don't really care that I'm not making a friend here.
Answer your question.
He continues in that weak voice.
No, I did not kill those girls. To my knowledge, they are still healthy and alive.
He says the last few words through a partial snarl and then glares at me.
Happy?
He's telling the truth. It pains me to hear it, but nothing in his body betrays the words he just spoke. After what I just put him through, I doubt he could mount a strong enough mental veil to disguise a lie to me. On top of that, his breathing and heartbeat support what he just told me. They barely flickered while he spoke. But if he's innocent, then that means... My thought trails off as two new ideas fight for space in my brain. His heart did hitch a beat when he said they were healthy. But even more important than that is what he said earlier in response to my two questions. He said my two questions had opposite answers. And if he's telling the truth about not killing them, then that means he is responsible for their disappearance. Crap, he's guilty.
Are you anyway?
I tune back into him talking and realize he's asking me questions.
And why are you really here?
No, I hiss at him and reroute what little darkness is trickling through my body into my muscles. I will end this tonight. As my adrenaline surges, I can feel time slowing down to allow me to perfectly place my punches exactly where I'm wanting in his abdomen. Another neat ability that I'm starting to get used to, moving so fast that the world becomes slow around me. I can't do it all the time, but it sure is thrilling when I can pull it off. Lashing out with my left fist, I hit him twice in his ribs and feel several of the white finger-like bones pop beneath my knuckles. The sensation is like stomping on dry tree branches after a drought. As his body instinctively leans over to that side to protect the injury, I bring my right fist around and put my full weight behind the blow that smashes into his exposed stomach. Something squishy deep in him ruptures, and my acute hearing picks up the satisfying sound of a water balloon bursting inside of him. I believe he is now down one internal organ. As his body crumples forward in an attempt to protect his suddenly aching insides, I reach out with both hands and gently cup the back of his head to guide it downward. As his blonde mop becomes level with my hips, I drop my body into a squat and then fire myself upwards, bringing my right knee into his well-tanned face. The explosive crunch of bone shattering as the top of my patella turns his face into pulp is much more satisfying than it should have been. The impact lifts him off the ground and throws him backwards across the kitchen, and he slides a few feet, coming to a rest against a lilac-colored wall. Where are they? I growl at him without approaching any closer. What did you do with them? I've used up just about all of my reserved energy, and the dark hunger is really trying to wrest control away from me. I want to feed. I need to feed, and soon. And the blood covering his face is not making controlling my dark side any easier. If I get any closer to him, then there's every chance I will pounce on him and give in to the delicious pull of that blood. And with how angry I am right now, no one should ever do what he did to young girls. There is a good chance I wouldn't be able to stop myself until he was dead. And if he's dead, then I'll never find out what happened to them. He doesn't answer me right away, or even move. He just leans against the wall and breathes heavily while clutching his stomach. After almost a full minute, him breathing with short, raspy breaths and staring at me sullenly, and me just trying to fight back the overwhelming desire to make my next meal out of him, he awkwardly pushes himself to a standing position and says,
"I'll show you. Just don't do that again."
He appears defeated and broken, but his heartbeat is strong and relaxed. I have a feeling he's lying to me about something. I just don't know what it is yet. He raises both his arms above his head like a kid playing cowboys and Indians. He winces with pain, and I can hear his muscles scrape against the broken ribs. As he steps forward, he mutters,
"Look, see? I even surrender myself."
As he turns to walk through the kitchen doorway and into the main room of the house, I tell him, "That's not necessary. I'm not going to shoot you." He ignores me and keeps walking through the doorway with his hands held high above his head. His fingers are high enough to scrape the top of the entryway as he passes through it. They catch my attention as he drags them along the underside of the decorative mahogany wood archway that separates the two rooms. The intricate design around the doorway is much like the rest of the house I've seen so far, immaculately clean and impressive. So I find it odd when I see his fingers catch on something as they pass along the wood. A brown string springs out of nowhere and goes taut against his fingers as he moves forward. The dark string pulls away from the wood frame above him, and I see that it connects to either wall through hidden, recessed holes that make a very distinct and metallic chink, kink sound as the string suddenly goes slack around his fingertips. This can't be good, I think, as I watch the man who was so recently my punching bag fall straight forward like he's been shot by a sniper. Except instead of looking dead and bullet-ridden, I can see his arms coming down and his hands clamping over his ears. He's anticipating something bad, I realize. I have no idea how much time I have until his surprise arrives to ruin our party, so my choices are limited. Try to get to where he is before the something happens, or turn and try to make it to the door. My guess is that the wooden entryway separating us will be harboring the present, so running towards him means putting myself closer to whatever's coming. That idea. Instinct tells me to get away from the badness, and with that realization, I turn and start moving across the small kitchen, not knowing what the Aryan surfer has in store for us in the next few moments. I don't know if it's safer to stop and cover my eyes and ears, or keep them open so they can assist me in my attempt to make it through the closed back door. Gambling, I decide to hedge my bets and try for both. I propel myself off the ground and towards the center of it while tucking myself into a protective ball. My landing will certainly be painful, but hopefully I'll survive whatever is about to happen. As I'm in the air, flying towards the door like a small female Hispanic cannonball, everything around me bursts into sunlight and thunder. The kitchen around me becomes a brighter white than anything I've ever experienced in my life. Even through closed eyes, the power of the whiteness is nauseatingly strong. Following on the heels of the sudden supernova is a roar that can only be described as an angry pack of lions riding a subway train into the mouth of a tornado as it destroys a fireworks superstore. It is such a level of overwhelming noise, my brain shuts down. It becomes a lack of sound. Feeling both blinded and deafened by whatever just happened behind me in the kitchen, my ability to hold my body tightly together dissolves as I slam into the house's back door. Instead of hitting it like a well-aimed missile, I slam into the wood-encased glass of the door's window like a carelessly thrown jellyfish being discarded on the beach. My momentum carries me through it, and I spin end over end across the back porch and come to a rest on the recently cut lawn. I was right, I think, and try to find my way onto my wobbly legs. That wasn't good.